With all the issues with political parties in Nigeria, do you honestly expect that we can get good leaders from them? With what is happening in PDP, what is happening in APC, what is happening in Labour Party, what is happening in NNPP, do you really think that we can get good leaders from these political parties the way they are structured? At least we can all agree that the problem of Nigeria, at the heart of it, is bad leadership. Whether we say it is foreign interference, the IMF and the World Bank and the CIA that are controlling our leaders, is because of bad leadership. That's why that is possible. We had good leaders, that will not happen. So, bad leadership, the problem. Oh, the problem is constitution. Oh yeah, we will have new constitution if the leaders were good. They will give us a good constitution. Oh, the problem is marginalization. Bad policies, they all stem from bad leadership. So if we all agree that at the heart of the problems of Nigeria is bad leadership, I want to ask, since leaders come from political parties, right now there are no independent candidates in Nigeria. So our leaders come from political parties. I want to ask, with the way the political parties are structured now, APC, PDP, Labour Party, NNPP, do you really expect, honestly, that we can get credible leaders to come out from such political parties, any of them? Why do I ask this question? You know, if you are living in Nigeria now and you're experiencing the dividends of the harsh policies of Tinubu, if you are not discouraged, you are a very strong person. You are a very strong person and you deserve an award. Majority of Nigerians are discouraged. Majority of Nigerians are in despair. Many people complain that, oh, Tinubu increased the price of petrol to over 1,000 naira and Nigerians are quiet. Nigerians are not quiet. They are in despair. They are disillusioned. They are perplexed. They have lost hope. They are experiencing genuine hopelessness. And so that puts them in a confused state. If you are in Nigeria now and you think about the matter of Nigeria, in fact, sometimes when I talk about Nigeria, I have headache. Sometimes some people say when they discuss Nigeria, their blood pressure goes up. So I say, if you are living in Nigeria and you are not disturbed, you deserve an award. It is okay, it is normal to be disturbed by the things that are going on in Nigeria. But the reason for this video is to let you see that there's light at the end of the tunnel. How do I mean? Even though I ask and I say that, is it possible for good leaders to come out from the political parties as we have them now? I will show you later on towards the end that there is indeed hope. There is indeed hope. But first of all, let's look at what is going on in the political parties. APC. It's click upon click. You have different power blocks. Oh, they say some cabal. Look at the recent sack. Or is it resignation of Ajuri Ngilali? So many conspiracy theories have arisen out of it. Some says he was sacked. So another group says, oh, he resigned. Another group says, oh, it's because he did not insult or abuse or tell lies against the Igbos. That's why he was sacked. And then he got wind that he was going to be sacked and quickly resigned. Whatever it is, the resignation of Ajuri Ngilali, as with many others, the change of their party chairman and the way their party chairman even emerges shows you that all is not well with the APC. With the way the APC is structured now, not forgetting PDP with the problem that Wike is giving them at the River State level and even at the national level. If you talk about Labour Party, in fact, right now there are three power blocks. You have the Aburi part that has merged now with Arabambi. and Akpakpa. You have the Callisto's part that claims that he is the legit one. And then you have the current one now, the Nenadi Usman, that is backed by Alex Oti and Peter Obi. So 3 power blocks. I'm not here to argue which one is the legitimate one or which one is not legitimate. That's not what I'm here to argue. The point is this. There are forces that are tearing each of these parties apart. The same thing with the NNPP. That is supposed to be a party that should be worshipping, quote and unquote, Kwankwaso, but they gave him hell at some point. In fact, at some time we heard that they wanted to expel him from the party. You can imagine that. But there's something that goes on that is common to all of the political parties in Nigeria today. What is that? They all charge exorbitant fees for nomination forms. Exorbitant fees. Now, for the ruling party APC, 100 million, that is openly outrageous. But the members are not complaining. PDP, the same thing. Labour Party, many people didn't know, or many people do not know, that Peter Obi paid for the ticket of Labour Party. Yes, Ireti Kingibe, she paid. Every person you see, they paid. That's why they were able to make over 1.5 billion naira from sales of forms alone. Monies that they did not use to fund campaign like they claimed. NNPP, they all paid. In fact, you may think that the smaller political parties don't charge as much as the bigger ones. But you may be wrong there. Not maybe. I am sure you're wrong. Because you see, the smaller political parties may not charge so much, but you then go bill you. You go pay salary. You go pay rent. You go buy car. You will do a lot of things. So all of them make participation in politics in Nigeria very, very expensive. And by so doing, what they effectively are doing is they are locking the door against people with genuine intentions, whether they have money or they don't have money. People with passion, people with credibility. The political party system in Nigeria, the way it is practiced, shuts the door on them. In Edo State now, the election is upcoming. The governorship candidate paid 30 million. Outside that 30 million, that's not the only money. Olumide paid 30 million. Olumide Akpata paid 30 million for the nomination form. Outside of the bills they will bill him, and outside of the amount he will spend to run the election. Not do. That guy will not tell me 500 million will not leave him. Now look at this. Who will spend that kind of money, or who will have that kind of money and decide to spend it when he's not sure that he's going to win? Now, if the person spends that kind of money, the politician spends that kind of money, how much is the salary of the governor or the president for the 4 years they will stay? That they will spend that kind of money. Who spends 1 billion naira to go and be earning 50 million a year? It shows that if they spend that money, they are definitely going there to go and loot. Definitely going there to go and loot. But that is the way the political parties have been structured in Nigeria. So I ask again, with the way these political parties are structured, using this condition of nomination form alone, there are others which we'll look into subsequently, but using the condition of nomination forms alone, do you think that we can get credible leaders to come out? Because when you think about it, it's like a gate that has been created to lock out several people. So a young graduate cannot come out now and say he wants to run for House of Rep. He can't. He can't. Because number one, you have to have been able to put yourself in certain positions to get or acquire money in certain ways that are largely illegal, right? but it so happens that they know how to clean up their tracks and they get away with it. They don't get caught. You have to be that kind of person to be able to participate in the political system in Nigeria today. But it should not be. It should not be. I said it earlier that if you think about it, it's easy for you to throw your hands in the air and give up and complain and complain and complain. Just feel bitterness in your heart. I understand that feeling because I felt it too. And that was what pushed me to think and think and think and think hard about a solution to this. We can't just continue like this. We can't just continue like this. Somebody says, oh, the results for 2027 election has been written by Tinubu is sure. And so I ask myself, what is that supposed to mean? Does that mean that we shouldn't bother to participate or prepare for the 2027 elections? Does it mean that, oh, definitely, oh, Tinubu gets to perpetuate himself in office beyond 2027? And so we should just sit down and do nothing? Come on. If you think about Nigeria, the tendency is for you to feel and believe and think like that. It's a narrative that they drive using propaganda. It's a programming, it's social programming. And if you're feeling that way, I can understand why. But I bring good news. We can change that by setting up a new political party where we have clearly stated conditions, ideologies that are clearly stated in our constitution. And to take it a step further, because Nigerians will be Nigerians. One thing we don't understand is every Nigerian has a tendency to be corrupt. Some may be higher than others, but every Nigerian has a tendency to be corrupt. And if you put a goat in a room with yam, it will be foolish not to expect the goat not to eat the yam. So what do? You can restrain the goat by putting a rope around the neck and tying it to a place and making sure that the length of the rope, if exhausted, the goat still cannot reach the yam. That way, the goat and the yam can coexist because you put restraint on the neck of the goat so that the farthest the goat can reach on that rope, it will still not be able to reach the yam. That is why we need to set up this new political party in such a way that in the constitution of the party, we will clearly state the ideologies and we will clearly state the punishment for those ideologies. So those punishments will serve as the rope around the neck of that goat. That way, we are not leaving the behavior of people or members or leaders that emerge on the platform of this, our new political party. We are not leaving their behavior to chance. We anticipate it and we put measures in our constitution clearly stated, so that we will not have the issues we are having in the political parties now. A lot of the political parties, particularly Labour Party, a lot of their issues stem from the ambiguity or lack of provisions for the behavior of their members. The Labour Party constitution, for instance, does not provide for the order of elections, whether it's from the top to the bottom or bottom to the top. It's not clearly stated. In a position where it is clearly stated, an Abure will not be behaving the way it is behaving now. So they look at it, they see loopholes, and everybody is trying to exploit the loopholes. In this new political party that we want to form, we will make sure that the provisions are clearly stated and the punishment for breach of those ideologies, those positions, are clearly stated as well. Because you see, INEC recognizes the constitution of the political party. The Supreme Court recognizes the supremacy of the constitution of the political party, subject only to the regulation of INEC and to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So very, very vital. This is how this new political party, one way it will be different from all others. Don't give up or throw your hands in the air in despair and say, oh, is it not Nigerians that will join this your new political party? They will mess it up. No. We will put these conditions in place, starting with nomination form that must be free. That way, we will open up the political field. It will be a level playing field, a true level playing field, such that you will have an Uber person who has idea, a teacher, a civil servant who has not been opportuned to benefit from corrupt money, a vulcanizer, people who have experience, people who have intelligence, credibility, they should be able to run without considering the size of their pockets. This is one unique feature of this our new political party. And indeed, if we can form it and create it, I can assure you it will transform the politics of Nigeria. It will allow credible leaders to be thrown up for elective positions, and such leaders will not be given headache the way Peter Obi is given headache by Labour Party now. It will not be. So this is one way we hope to change the political narrative in Nigeria. So we cannot continue the way we are now. And we cannot continue to do the same things we are doing now and expect a different result. We have to change. We cannot only be relying on revolution, when we do not have the means for such a revolution, or when we are not ready for the sacrifice, the huge sacrifice in lives and properties that may be required for such a revolution. We can come about a revolution that is intellectual, that is peaceful, and yet very forceful to bring about a change in the leadership of this country through this new political party that I'm talking about. It is the Abundance Party of Nigeria. There's a link in the description for it. But while you go to look at that link and click on it, I'd like to tell you also that there's a second reason why it is absolutely important that we do this now. We do it now without delay. There's a second reason. We'll talk about it in the next video.